Now let's take a look at how a flaw question works in a representativeness argument stimulus. This language indicates that the question belongs in the flaw category. Since flaw is part of the assumption family, your next step is to identify the conclusion and evidence and locate the scope shift. A helpful key phrase identifies both the evidence and the conclusion. The conclusion is that the number of people employed by a typical American software firm decreased in the 1980s and 90s. The evidence is two studies. There's a 1980 sample and then a 2000 sample of the same companies. Anytime you notice that the evidence consists of studies, think about representativeness issues. This argument is flawed because the author assumes that the companies that were surveyed in 1980 and again in 2000 are representative of, quote, typical software firms. What about the hundreds, if not thousands, of software companies that opened after 1981? C articulates this flaw nicely. It's the correct answer, but let's check out the others for the record. A's focus on many industries is outside the scope of the argument. The stimulus is concerned only with the number of people employed by a typical American software firm. B gives a plausible explanation of why the median size of firms is decreasing, but it fails to describe a flaw in the argument, so it's not the right choice here. The statement in answer choice D is irrelevant. The survey is concerned with the firm's size in terms of workforce population. All other measures of a firm's size are out of scope, just like D. Finally, E is not a flaw in this argument. This argument has to do with the number of employees in a typical firm, not the number employed in the industry as a whole. So E won't work, and C is the right answer. Any mention of a survey or study in a critical reasoning problem is an indication that you may find problems with representativeness. Ask yourself, anytime you see evidence of this sort, is the group discussed in the studies the same as the group mentioned in the stimulus? And if not, how are the two groups different? Find that similarity or difference, and you'll get these right every time on test day.